Today, it's going to be a little weird. We're going to walk through my top 10 favorite weird guitar effects. Sometimes when you have creativity block, when you just can't play anything different, when you're tired of playing the same old thing and you just wish you could snap out of it, a weird pedal can be the answer. Before we dive into my favorite weird pedals, let's take a look at a brand new pedal. I already opened it, so forgive me, but I will let you experience the opening of the box that it's in. It is the Matthews Effects Whaler Fuzz Blackout Edition. And Rick has been a good friend, awesome guy, super creative. I love all of his work. So here we go. We have the pamphlet brochure, the pedal, we'll get back to that, sticker, instruction manual, black paper. Let's check the pedal out. That is definitely blacked out, and I like that. Squish tone body, sustain and output. So since the invention of the electric guitar, one thing is for sure, guitar players want to be unique and they want to sound different. Because of that, technology follows suit and you end up with some strange guitar pedals. Well, today I'm going to share with you my top 10 weird guitar pedals. I could show you 40, 30, 20, but I have time to show you 10. And also make note, weird does not mean unusable. Weird just means that these effects are not the norm. With that in mind, let's jump right in. Earthquaker Devices, Arpanoid. This guy, it's pretty crazy. Jamie is a good friend, and Jamie is always pushing the bounds of what a pedal is, what a pedal can do, and he just makes stuff he wants to make. Excellent example of just having fun, creating something way out of the box, and not really caring. And the result is just pretty killer. It arpeggiates your guitar, and within that you can get some very, very unique time-based effects that fall in this like modulation, ring modulation land. Not really sure. Killer though. Then we have the old DoD FX13 Gonkulator Modulator. DoD had the best names, period. Just go look them up. But this guy is really rare. I believe there's an Incubus track, or maybe the guitar player on multiple songs used this, so they got really pricey because there wasn't a ton of them made. And it's a modulator, ring modulator. It's kind of both. But the knob labels, suck, smear, gunk, and heave, that alone earns a spot on this video. Secondly, the suck or drive knob is actually phenomenal. When you turn the smear down, smear is the ring mod, turn it off, and this is a killer distortion pedal. But why would you do that? Turn the smear back up and ring mod your brains out. It's a phenomenal pedal and makes some really crazy sounds. Zvex Lo-Fi Junky. This is the Vexter series. I think there were more expensive versions. Same circuit though. I think the idea was make your guitar sound like an old record player. So it has this knob called Lo-Fi to comp. So way over here, it's like this super hardening compression. Then you come back over here. It's almost like a limiter. Come back over here and you get this dirty record vibe. It's really phenomenal. 3 waveforms, a depth and speed for the modulation of the lo-fi, it still holds very, very unique. I know Joel at Chase Bliss has a warped vinyl pedal. I know there's some other things out there, but this holds its place as still being very unique and pretty weird. Then we have, let's just hit both Zvex out of the gate. This is an old 2001 Ooh Wah. The Ooh Wah is really crazy. I think Zachary Vex's goal in life is just to make crazy pedals, and I think he's achieved that, and that's why we love him. And this is a perfect example. This is the old hand paint too, really cool. It's a step sequenced wah pedal. So when you play it, you see the lights go across in a step sequence, and every control turns on one sequence. So you get a rhythmic effect to the wah effect. This is very out of the box. In one of those pedals, when you're having a hard time creating, you can find riffs in this, you can find weird textures. Very cool pedal. Mattoverse Electronics. Matt and I did a swap, and this came in with some other things of his that are phenomenal. This guy, the Tetrastep MK2, it's another one of those sequence type things, and it actually doesn't affect your guitar at all. It lets your guitar pass through, and it's a step sequencer synthesizer. So what does it do to your guitar? Well, it adds a synthesizer into your guitar rig. That's why it's weird. He has a very, very keen eye and ear on this stuff, and a lot of his pedals lend themselves into the synthesizer land, and this is no exception. This is my favorite one. I mean, it's got these buttons. I just want to push the buttons. Push the buttons here. Oh, you can't do that, sorry. But I'm going to push them. Then we got one of my favorite brands of all time. The brand itself is a weird brand. Everything they had was weird. Lovetone Flange with no name. Before I even talk about the pedal, I'm going to show you something. It has a hinge, and it opens up like such. That's weird, right? This is like mail order days. This is very early boutique. I don't know what year this is. It's probably early 2000s. But this is a flanger. And the great thing about it is you hardly ever find a flanger sound in it. With all these knobs, all these jacks, all these switches, it's hard to find a flange sound. What you do find, however, is everything flange wishes it was. This makes the list. Boss. Boss gets weird. You know, Boss is simple, but they get weird sometimes. And this is a Japanese Super Distortion and Feedback, or DF2. There's actually another version of this with a slightly different name. I think it had something to do with a lawsuit on the name, but whatever. This was super simple. It's basically like a DS-1 style distortion, and it has an overtone knob. When you're playing, hold it down, and it makes a synthesized feedback of the note you were on, and then you can change the pitch. Clever, still usable, and awesome. Getting harder to find though. then we have possibly the most useless effect, but because it's so useless, it ends up being useful. It is the Korg Miku Stomp. I don't really even know what to say about this pedal. I think that it's just gonna have to be heard. It is the audio tribute to anime, maybe that's what it is, with knob settings like la, ah, lu, scat, phrase 1, phrase 2, phrase 3, random. Miku Stomp. And then last but not least is my modification to the DS-1. I've done these for almost 10 years. The synth drive. So what you have going on here is an old thing called circuit bending, where you take, like, people take speaking spells and keyboards and you touch points of the circuit together that should have never touched, and it creates feedback. Well, that's what these toggles are. There's 3 toggles. And when your gain knob, distortion knob, is below 50% and those toggles are on, it changes the character in an EQ fashion, a clipping fashion. But once it goes across the dot there, you end up with feedback, synthesized droning, fuzzy, crazy stuff. You're just gonna have to hear it. This is the JHS modified DS-1 synth drive. I wasn't done. There's one more. I had to go find it. It was on the shelf. Original box. The Fender Runaway feedback expression pedal. This is a weird pedal. And there were not many of these made. Features include realistic feedback simulation. Blah, 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 blah. The Fender Runaway is a natural feedback simulator. So it's kind of like the One Boss pedal, but it's not. The plate sticker with the old glue. Yeah? The power supply has never come out of its box. And here it is in all of its glory, the Runaway. So take everything that Boss feedbacker is, make it track better, give it some more controls like harmonic up or down or both, and put a volume swell of that feedback at your feet. And put it in this sweet John Deere green enclosure, and you've got one of the rarest weird pedals ever. Thanks, Fender. Most people didn't even know you made this. It was a failure. But failures can become successes sometimes. Maybe this is one of those times. For record time, it's got to be weird today. So, Trout Mask Replica by Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band. Not just a band. There's books about this record. And I haven't read that one yet, I just got it. So, basically, I think Frank Zappa's the producer. They do some very experimental conditions of which they record this. I believe those conditions were they did not sleep, they stayed in a cabin with no light on the windows, like everything blacked out, lose track of time, rehearse it part for part, and track it straight through. And when you hear this, you have to understand that the parts are rehearsed. Let me say that again. What you hear is rehearsed on this record. And it's wild. It's crazy, it's unorthodox, and yes, it's weird. So if you know about this, you're probably applauding that I'm even talking about it and you like me more. If you don't know about this, you need to go listen to it, and then you'll probably judge me or love me more. But it is a record worth playing because there's nothing else like it, I don't think. Check it out. Honorable mentions, because I just have so many pedals and I just love pedals. So here's my honorable mentions. The Walrus Janus. It's a fuzz and a trim, which aren't that crazy, but when you add joystick levers, you get on this list. Death by Audio Echo Dream 2. I just got this. You guys saw me open it, and it's crazy cool. The Way Huge Ringworm. Dr. Scientist. The Bitquest. Has a rotary, has some crazy stuff going on. The SubDecay Noise Box. The Zvex Fuzz Probe. We know about the Fuzz Factory, but the Fuzz Probe actually has a copper plate here, and it's proximity based. When you touch it or get near it, and there's such fine adjustment, it drives people crazy, but you can get some really amazing sounds out of this. I thought it'd be worth shouting out that DoD reissued that Gonkulator, so those of you who already looked on eBay or Reverb and saw that a Gonkulator cost more than like your car, you could go buy this. It sounds really great, and they added an extra knob, so there you go. I think we can all agree those are some pretty weird pedals, but weird's good. Weird is good. You can make that a hashtag somewhere. So click the bell to subscribe to our channel. Hit like if you like this episode, which I think you all did, and subscribe to this channel because this vlog's running. It's been a blast to do. I love the comments. I love talking to you. And I forgot to have you share your weirdest album choice. So I usually do that during record time, but I'm telling you now, I want to know what your favorite weird, unorthodox, strange record is, and tell me some of the story. And if you know something about Trout Mask Replica, put it in there. Correct me, because I'm not sure on that history. I haven't read that book yet. And also weird pedals. Toss them out there. What's your favorite weird pedal as well? So until next time, I will see you. It's been a pleasure. Have a weird day. My day's already pretty weird, so bye-bye.